Fly McFlatface, how you
That's
doing,
me,
mate?
peace.
Aye,
I'm brilliant, Dale. This is phenomenal. Fantastic turnout. Really good.
it's good, isn't it?
It's all your work, man. This is 2 or 3 years hard work paying off now.
That's nice to see so many different faces. I say is that the faces that have showed up today are totally different from the last lot that came, so it just shows that there's a good varied crowd.
It's growing.
And the amount of people here that are so clever when you're speaking to them as well.
They're so switched on, but it's interesting how people will take on each other's ideas.
Aye.
You know, I can say something, you can see them taking it in, and I'm going to research that, and likewise they've spoken to me and I'm taking that in as well, so it's just, it all makes sense, you know, it all makes sense.
It's good. Makes you feel better when you get to move about with a group of people. And
I was a wee bit apprehensive about coming, you know. I thought I don't know what to expect, and Greg, my pal Greg's came along as well, and it's brilliant, great fun. Glad it came.
excellent, isn't it? Aye, nice one. That's good to see you here,
Yep.
you know, mate. You know.
Cheers, man.
There's a few years I've travelled for the east coast and come here, so.
There's a guy from Preston Pans, that's a good 80, maybe not, maybe 60 miles, 70 miles.
A boy from Newcastle as well, you know.
Aye.
Last time was boys up for Stoke and
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
travelling upwards. So
Thick and fast.
that's it. You know, hopefully they'll start popping up
Yeah.
and down the country, and
Yeah.
meetups will be happening everywhere.
Aye, well,
That's
I
a
hope
good
so.
thing. Aye.
You know, and there's no need to be scared, guys. There's people out there just like us. You know, just someone's got to bring them together. You brought us together, but if there's somebody in Newcastle that can bring folk together, or
Exactly.
Stoke or London,
Exactly.
just start bringing folk together. You know, even if it's only 5 folk the first time, it'll be 10 folk the next
Exactly.
time. And look at this, there's 20 folk here.
There's more than that, man. As if there's about 30 in
It's
there,
awesome,
me,
man. Awesome.
But that's it. If there is people in different areas, that's what I keep saying to them. All they need to do is identify, like, this is just a pub, like a local pub.
Yep.
All they need to do is say, look, well, I'm going to arrange,
Yep.
Saturday the 24th of March or whatever
Yep.
it is.
Yep.
Let us know. We'll shout it out, and I'm
Yep.
sure there'll be people in that area
Yep.
that are going to show up
Yep.
to it. You know,
You've got the audience.
that's it.
It's just about bringing folk together now.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
this is testament to it. It's been a fantastic day.
Aye, it's great to see everybody smiling.
It's
and
amazing. Really
feeling
good. Really
Aye.
good, man.
Excellent.
Glad I came.
Aye. So how are you dealing with it all now? Are you?
Better. I was saying to a few people for the past year I was a mess, an absolute mess. Emotionally, psychologically, just a mess.
Yep.
Just taking it all in. You know, I think we are designed to take it in anyway, because other people just won't take it in. But even the people that are designed to take it in struggle with it. You know, some of them do.
Aye.
And I did. You know. But I'm totally fine with it now. You know, it just is what it is.
That's it.
You know, there's loads of us. It is what it is, guys. The air's flat. Water doesn't fucking curve. Pardon my French.
Don't need to worry about that on my platform, mate.
Of course. And that's it. That's nothing else to it. Just find your like-minded pals and just get on with it. The Arsenal ball.
Do you think a lot of your troubles was because you want to express it to other people and you want to get a reaction from them, you want to be able to have discussions, and people are so closed off to it, and it kind of gaslights you, makes you feel as if there's something wrong with you and you shouldn't be here, you shouldn't be talking about it. And I think I've seen that with you, and I've seen it with a few other people. They go through that kind of emotional turmoil with that and start doubting themselves. And
well, I always felt like an outcast anyway, Del. I was always a bit odd. And then this was like more oddness. You know, you were odd all your life, pal. Now here's some more oddness for you. And I'm like, this isn't fair. You know, I was like, oh, woe is me. I don't want to be odd again. But this is odd in a better way. Because you've got more odd folk. And it's odd for a reason, you know. So,
but they end up, it grounds you properly. You're rooted in your own
You've
being.
got a life now.
Aye, that's
You've got a life to build upon, you know.
And you're secure in you. You know what you know, and you know who you are. And
that's it.
Well, we don't know where we are,
we don't know where we are,
but you still feel a lot more grounded than you ever did.
You feel empowered, you know. So it's all good, but it was a painful birth into this. And there'll be folk just like that. And if you're going through that, guys, I'm sorry, but just stick with it, man. You'll come through the other side, you know.
Aye, because that's it. There's so many variations. And, speak to people like me at 10 minutes. I went through kind of internal processes, but no so bad. You get other people the same. 10 minutes, they're fine. Their emotions are fine. Their psychology's fine. Somebody like yourself, we struggle a wee bit with it. Took a wee bit longer, but eventually,
you come through the other side anyway.
That's it.
It's just new, and it's just a struggle for your mind to try and process truth for a change. But you'll come through it. You'll come through it. And if you've got people around you, all the better. You know?
Excellent. Nice one, Chris.
Cheers,
Pleasure to speak to you, man.
Had an awesome day, man.
Good.
Cheers, man.
That's aye. So, sorry, man. What's your name again, man? Stuart, how's it going, bud?
Not bad, Del.
What do you think of the day?
It's my first time being at one of these events. It's been absolutely fantastic. Folk that I've met here today, some of the stuff that they've been speaking about, it's opened my eyes even further than, I've only been into this kind of flat earth facts for about 4 months now. and each day seems to be a school day. You're learning something else every day that's opening your eyes that you didn't even consider previously. You know, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. How did you come here?
How did I get here?
How did you get?
How did I get to this journey?
Aye.
It's been a long kind of, when you look back on it, it all started off with kind of 9/11 stuff, and sort of a few years after that, kind of looked into it. Alex Jones went on to that, and up until a few months ago, I was still looking into it, and you know, just trying to fathom how they could actually do it to their own people, you know, and you're like, how the hell can... So if they can do that to their own people, what else are they hiding from you? And since I bought my new ham radio antenna, and this was pretty much the crux of it, it's like it's a large version of your TV antenna, which has got to be sort of directionally pointed to the country that you're wanting to talk to. And I kind of pointed it round. My house faces north, so when I look at my window, I'm looking at Ben Lomond. And the map that you get printed off from this ham radio guy's website for your beam antennas it's an azimuthal map, so it's a flat map.
Yeah.
You're going, how the hell if I point up there I hear Australia? So it's like 5 past the hour, like northeast from my house, Australia. Pointed it round, heard Australian voice because it's a real high gain antenna. I thought Australia was away bloody down the back of me. How the hell am I fucking hearing it away over there? North, it's like a total mind numb. And then so from that, my friend, wee Andy, as you've met before, he's into it and I didn't know. And he said something on YouTube one day and it got me looking into it. And I watched the Allegedly Dave.
Yeah.
He had a TV interview with some Lithuanian guy and was on for an hour, and the flight paths and all that stuff, and since then...
What was that?
That's it, man. It can't be anything else.
Exactly. Aye. So how did you deal with the revelation? How did you deal with realising?
I actually felt good, you know. You speak to somebody, you see people's reactions online and that, and they just totally flip out, as if they don't want to be... as if they don't want to realise themselves or be shown to be made a full of.
Yeah.
Whereas I actually felt this is an awakening here.
Yeah.
And then it's just been information overload for the past 4 months. The missus is going off her head, man. She's going mental with me every time. But the boys started singing anytime I'm driving about the car we have Flat Earth Man on the radio. So he's started questioning it as well, which is good.
Excellent.
Which is good for him because, you know, the schooling, they just get brainwashed from the start. So
it's not alienated you from your own family and stuff like that?
I actually brought it up at Christmas when we were over at my mum and dad's, and I sort of tentatively handed it out to my mum, and she said, I know it's flat.
Oh, there you go.
And it's like, I should have been speaking to her about this long ago.
Yeah.
You know? And we're talking about Genesis and the waters and stuff, the Old Testament. She says, I've always believed that. But as yet, I've not spoke to any of my close friends about it yet.
Right.
Some wee bits and bobs I kind of release on YouTube, Facebook, you get that My Day thing.
Yep.
I've been taking the piss out of that.
Right.
Phony car in space for the past week or so, but how anybody can believe that is...
It's incredible, isn't it?
Utter madness.
I know. It just shows you how far gone we are, doesn't it?
It's just, in some of the comments, I was looking through Facebook last week, and you came across an advert and it was a t-shirt with this bloody car and that blue ball with no land on it in the background.
Yep.
And this wee studio lit car, and it says on the bottom of it, don't panic. And reading through, I actually despaired. I was shouting at my phone, I was at work. The comments on the thing, Elon Musk, you are a god. I want your babies. I'm like, I nearly threw my phone away. Get off life, you nut jobs. How can you be
scum?
That's the anagram. It's the anagram of his name.
Scum.
That's his.
I don't know where you guys get your things from.
How anybody can watch that and stand up for it is beyond me. I mean, it's so fake. I've never liked Star Wars or space shite anyway.
I was the same. Never into
I was never into that sci-fi crap, but I didn't think, I just didn't like it, you know, it's too far-fetched, but it's just all conditioning from an early age.
But things seem to make a bit more sense now.
It's certainly, each day there's something else
Something new.
opening up to me, and I'm like, I've got a big line of things I need to look into now, and it's every day the list is getting added to, and I've got no time in the day.
That's it.
So it'll take me years to.
Knowing your own mind's the most important thing, though. Knowing
definitely.
that, be centred in yourself and know that the power's with you. I think that's the most important thing. The rest of it, the majority of it for me is just useless information anyway. You know, if it's something that's not your direct experience, what fucking use is it to you, you know? So,
Certainly, I'm glad I've got to this sort of journey, this part of the destination.
Good.
And from here on in, I'm looking forward to righting people's wrongs, getting people to just start drip feeding them, drip feeding them on Facebook and stuff.
plant the seeds.
Plant seeds and get them looking into it myself, because that's how it happened to me. My mate planted a seed in me, and I thought, you know, I've seen a couple of signs about the place, flat earth and that, what that shite. But my mate dropped a wee seed, and I thought, you know what, it's time to look into it, because I've seen it all over the shop. And I looked into it, that first Dave Murphy thing, it was on for an hour.
That was it.
Dearie me, this is making sense now. Absolutely amazing.
Good man. Cheers for coming today.
Hey, Bollandale, it's been fantastic.
Nice one, bud. Cheers, man.
Many more to come, hopefully.
Exactly. Hi, Michael, how you doing? You alright? Is that what you got to say there?
No makeup.
Michael. Oh, he says Michael, so I'm terrible with names. It's just, you meet that many people, so sorry, what's your name again?
My name's Dean Wright.
Dean, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
So, what do you think of the day?
Brilliant. It's the first time I've come to a meet-up. It's really nice to be around like-minded people, because you always feel as though it's fringe, isn't it? And it's, do you know what I mean? And you can't help but. I mean, I'm quite open about it. If people ask me about it, I'll be honest with them and I'll say yeah. But I don't go putting it onto people. I don't want to force it. You know, it's like last night I was at a taekwondo class and I told one of the young kids about flat Earth, and she was quite open to it. And then last night one of her young pals came over to me and went, "Well, come on then, Dean, prove to me that the Earth's flat." I went, "Dude, that's not for me to do that." I said, "Your reality, if you want to stay on a ball, you stay on a ball. I want the true reality." Right? I said, "And if you're interested, look into it." And that's it. You know what I mean? Because I put videos out and stuff like that, and the usual arrogant, ignorant, abusive. It's like, come on.
I know.
I don't want to get. It's boring, isn't it?
That's
it's
it.
fucking
That's it.
boring.
Well,
It
I'm not
bores
here
me.
to fucking answer the questions for the people, you know. People need to look themselves and try and figure it out for themselves.
I know. I mean, the way society's run, it's like everything's wrapped around his ego. And as an ex-Buddhist monk, we were taught about the ego and the problems with the ego. And this is what this cognitive dissonance is all about. People wrap their whole identities. Oh, I'm a doctor of this or a PhD of that, and this and that. And it's all self-reinforcing. You know, it gets, and you challenge that, and the first thing they want to do is bite. And that's cognitive dissonance. And I keep telling people, ball earthers, be very careful of it because it triggers you. And you're doing it without thinking about it, even thinking about it. I mean, I remember talking to a guy once and he got really aggressive and I went, "Dude, why are you getting so aggressive with me?" Because he's having his, Carlos Castaneda in his books, he was given that called The Ego, the Tonal, and when he was taking mushrooms and he realised it was all bullshit, he was physically sick like Neo in The Matrix. He was physically sick when he realised it was rubbish.
Just all ideas.
And that's a lot for people to. Some people don't want to go through that process. They don't want to go through that process, and they'd rather keep themselves in the little false fucking world where it's nice and safe and cuddly.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean? And then face up to reality.
I know.
That's what we're up against. I mean, it's a massive. When you realise just how ingrained society is in the wrong place, you think to yourself, what can we do? Well, the only thing you can do is talk about it and meet other people. Because I got to a point where I need to talk to other flat earthers. I need to talk to other people about it, you know what I mean? And get some validation. It's not just me being a crackpot.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean, though?
Well,
it sort of makes it eat a giggle. It's a big sigh, you go,
That's it.
Yeah.
Because of the responses, though, it can make you feel that way, you know, like it's you that's wrong,
Well,
and there's something missing with you. But
it's very supportive coming here.
yeah,
And I've seen a lot of the flat earth people who do hangouts, and I thought to myself, I remember cottoning onto you about a year and a half ago, And I thought, this guy is just a guy off the street. He's going out, he's meeting people, he's being real. And then you look at like what a lot of the more high-profile flat earthers are doing.
The celebrities.
And you realise that it's just their egos are getting involved. They just want to be famous.
Yep.
That's all they want to do. I don't want to name names and point fingers, but we all know who we're talking about here. And I'm thinking, perhaps you might be flat earthers, but your motivation's wrong.
Yeah.
You're not going out on the street, you're not talking to folk, you're not prepared to put yourselves out there.
Yeah.
You're only prepared to put yourself out there when there's a fucking camera in front of you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the wrong motivation.
That's it. That's it.
They're coming from the wrong place. It's not about that, it's about waking people up.
Yeah. Yeah, and properly, you know, waking people up properly, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's not just about the shape of the earth, there's complexities to it, you know, in regards
it's massive, man. The more I think about it, the deeper you get with it, you open up, it's like meditation, it's like it opens you up to deeper understandings of what's going on, and sometimes it can be quite scary when you think, fuck me, I'm fucking living in a fucking petri dish. You know, what's going on? What am I? Where am I? Who am I?
Exactly.
I ain't got a fucking clue.
And without the answers to those questions, what are we involved in? Absolute delusion.
Well,
you know?
it's frightening though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The true realisation of that is earth-shattering, actually.
That's it.
It's illusion breaking, and it's the spell has been... And then you walk around and you go, so what we here for?
Yeah, that's it. And everybody's acting like they know what they're supposed to be doing, they know what life should be about, when really they don't. It's just an idea that's been sold to them, concepts, and they're walking about in life as if, you know, this is a fact, this is the way it is. And it's just no.
Do you know, there's a great saying, I can't remember who it was by, it says, it's not about how we've been told a lie, but it's because we've bought the lie.
That's it.
We've bought the lie. Well, we've decided to sell the lie. We don't want to buy the lie anymore.
That's it.
That's the difference.
That's it. Don't buy the product and the shop shuts.
We've realised that it's, you know, it's just a load of fucking nonsense.
Exactly.
And I love that quote when you say we're not on a big fucking blue testicle thing. I love that because I like sort of phrases that make the complex quite fucking. When you can laugh about it, it makes it like more accepting.
Exactly.
Of the
That's
truth.
it.
You know, it's like
Easier.
a little sugar-coated pill, isn't it?
That's it.
Like Bill Hicks and people like that would make you laugh your tits off about it.
Yeah.
But in fact, it was a very deep truth he was giving you.
Laughter's one of the most powerful tools of getting a message across, as far as I'm concerned. You know.
I mean,
for me anyway, and obviously for yourself, it's. You know?
It's about reality, and you know, really understanding. It blows my mind actually. You know, when you want to go deep into it, you go, "Ooh, I haven't got any answers."
I know. That's the problem, though. We don't have the answers. We're aware now of the situation we're in, but how do we resolve that? You know, we have to have people awake to it. We have to have people pushing for real answers and not just accepting whatever other crap's going to come our way. You know.
But you know, when you look into it, I mean, I've been looking into alternative theories for I'm 51, over 25 years. Yeah. And all of a sudden, aliens have got books. And that's why I miss it. Got bookcases full of all that stuff and cosmology and Isaac Asimov and all that. I loved it all, man.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the flat Earth just ties every single dot together.
Yeah.
Why are they faking space?
Yeah.
Because of this. Why are they faking evolution? Because of this. Why are they, you know? Because it's a spiritual war. Being an ex-monk, it's a spiritual war because flat Earth reconnects us to our spiritual selves.
Yeah.
Because when you realise it's like that, and we've got a whole different cosmology, then there has to be other forces at work here.
Exactly.
There has to be.
Exactly.
And that's what that ball Earth was put there for, to take us away from the spiritual and go into the material world.
Exactly.
And look at me, I'm very nice. Or look at, I mean, I worked in fashion for years, man. I love my clubber, but I know it's just fucking clothes. It's not my identity.
Yeah, that's it.
And so when you
that's a good point. Look, that's the difference. So you can indulge in certain things without, you know, attaching it yourself as it being an identity. You know that you're indulging and partaking in something of your interest, but you're not attaching any meaning.
Exactly.
To it, you know?
That's the thing. I mean, it's like when I was a monk. I realised after 2 years I didn't want to be a monk. But what I wanted to keep was a meditation and a spiritual sort of knowledge that I took, and I wanted to take that into my everyday life.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when I was a monk, it was like no sex, no drink. There was nothing. It's boring.
Yeah.
But I can be a Buddhist and have my cake and eat it too.
Exactly.
It's okay. It's about integration.
Exactly.
And integrating the reality of our world into our daily lives.
Yeah.
That's the next big thing we need to do. But what I really don't like is, I mean, when you were getting attacked on the internet by those guys, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And, you know, when I watched your video and you were talking about these guys, I thought, you know, there's an old Japanese saying that the higher you put if you were a nail, the higher the nail, the chances it's going to get hit first. So you keep be the lowest nail.
Yeah.
But because you put yourself out there, you're one of the higher nails that's going to get whacked.
Yeah.
You know, and have to put up with that. You must have fucking skin like fucking.
Well, rhino.
Well, you've got to, haven't you? You've got to, haven't you? Because otherwise it could really get you down. Because those guys were vicious, man.
Aye. But that's the problem, you know, as long as you're not emotionally attached to these things. I've never been a person who's, you know, had to seek approval or acceptance from anybody, so that's kind of stood me in good
I've been the
ground,
same,
you know? Aye. So when it comes to stuff like this, it's like water off a duck's back, especially when it's people you don't know, they're no part of your everyday life, you're never going to meet them, they're faceless potatoes. It really is just water off a duck's back to me, so they can keep it up, doesn't affect me, and I think that's important for other people that are involved in it as well. You know, people want acceptance from others, and that's what hurts them. You know, when they try and speak about these things and they're being shunned by others.
See, that's why I think people like Patricia Stair and Mark Sargent have been put up as these authority figures in the flat earth community. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that's just another way of controlling it, as far as I'm concerned.
The hierarchy, you know, I think there is a lot of hierarchy and trying to impose that kind of thing on it. But there's people who can see through all these things, you know.
But that's what I like about the way you go about it. It's real. It's real, it's down to earth, and it's about people.
That's it.
You know, and that's it.
That's it.
And
we're all meant to be on the level.
Well, there's not many like you doing it out there, like you do. And my favourite video of yours is the Dan Battledore Joe Rogan one.
Ah, right.
Honestly, fucking stitches, honestly, man. It's hilarious, but it's true, but it's making you laugh as well, because just the absurdity of the claims and these people that they put in front of us. I mean, what is Joe Rogan? I reckon Joe Rogan's been got at. Yeah. He was fake moon landings, he was behind all that. I think somebody saw what he was getting on his podcast and went, right, you will, or he's either took that or they've threatened him, because all of a sudden he's gone completely the other way. Yeah. And when you brought up that video, and it's just, I mean, it was brilliant. That's my favourite video.
Nice one.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
how did you come to the flat earth stuff? Was it a while ago? Or?
It's about 2.5 years ago. I'd always been into different theories. I don't like calling them conspiracy theories. I call them alternative theories. And I always have been interested in all that. And I remember coming across the odd flat earth video and going, I'm not. That's just, I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm not going down that one. Until one day, I started watching it, and then I went, shit. My intuition went, there's something to this. And then about 6 months later, I came off a bike and I broke my leg. Pretty badly, I shattered on my tibia. I've got a 4-inch metal plate in the excuse my leg. So I sat for 9 months,
leg up.
videos, and just, I'm like, you have got me a little channel under my name, Dean Wright, and all I've done, I'd take videos of boats going over the horizon, and go up to Arbroath, take the dog up, me and the missus, zoom in, zoom out, put them up, stars in the sky, video them, and just put what's real, what I can see.
Excellent.
Practical stuff, simple. I'm not a technician or video, I just film what the camera can get from it.
So on YouTube, your channel is what? Dean Wright?
Yeah.
Dean Wright, excellent.
Yeah,
it's just something that people should check out then. It's always good to see, there's so many people now are uploading what they're finding, using their own cameras and their observations, which is hugely important, you know?
But do you know what, as well, also, when you look at what's up there, from what I can see, and the one I get from the ballers is, the camera's not in focus, Yes, it is in fucking focus. It's called autofocus, you fucking muppet. Do you know what I mean? And it's, for me, there's some kind of fucking liquid up there, and it's sonoluminescence. It's got to be, there's definitely something up there. That's why, we can't get out, can we? We're not allowed out.
Exactly.
This is it for us.
Well, who knows? You might be somewhere laterally that we can go, but we don't know that either, you know?
Yeah, you're right, but that's a whole new. That's another way of fucking. That's another hole to go down, isn't it?
Well, hopefully we get the opportunity one day to find out exactly what it is. You know?
Absolutely, because I think things like this in a couple of years' time are going to be huge.
Exactly. Well, hopefully people keep it up, you know, and it happens up and down the country and all over the world more and more. So I'm going to continue to encourage it. So.
Well, the work you do is fantastic, mate, and it's really been really nice to come down and meet you.
Yeah, excellent, Dean. Pleasure to speak to you, man.
You too,
Cheers,
brother.
buddy.
You take care.
I'm just going to start.
I started doing YouTube channels a long time ago, and what I found out was that I would never ever follow anybody. I wouldn't do any following. I would just do my investigation, listen to this person, never subscribe to anybody's, you know, what they were saying or anything like that, and make my mind up and just sit back and think, and then start educating myself, start looking at reading books, going in, looking at basic science. I started in 2012, and I came across 2013. I came across flat Earth. So I was angry for 3 years. I'm 2 years now, just nice and chilling. I've got it. I'm on the back seat now. For 3 years, I was breaking furniture and everything. I was totally disgruntled because you're so big. The elephant was in your face. I woke up in the morning, you go to work and whatever, and the elephant now was right in front of your face. Doesn't matter what you looked at. So it wasn't just the flat Earth. It was the whole concept of society. That I was seeing my environment for the first time, seeing it in a perspective that I'd never seen before, and that was just this big elephant everywhere where you looked at in society. And that's what I started. So I started getting a bit more active in certain other areas as well. And it's really it's a more broader scope than just, it's more than just the flat Earth. You know, I tend not to use it too much, you know, the flat Earth, even when I'm discussing about, say, sort of, as Dell's yourself, you've been discussing a lot about, you know, how to use your words correctly, and even learn the words, like, you know, your sophisms, sophistry, making fallacious arguments, blah blah. It's learn the grammar and learn what you want to talk and discuss about, and that's very important. And that way you get good discourse, and that's the main thing, is discourse. And if you really want to get to sort of drop the seed with other people, find out as well, which Dell does brilliantly, is not to even mention flat Earth. We just talk about, like, you know, science, you know, natural science. It's the most beautiful subject even to talk about. And you can discuss that. And we've just had a relative just out of Finland, and I was discussing, you know how fast the Earth spins? Do you know how fast the Earth is spinning around the sun? How, you know, blah blah. And she says, well, where are you going with this? But it's quite fascinating. And I says, do you feel any movement? She says, no, should I? I says, well, have you ever been on a little roundabout in a park? She says, yeah, great stuff. I says,
it's all relative, though.
She's not that sort of minded in that respect, but she got it. She got it straight away. She said that was incredible speeds, not to feel everything. And then,
but you were born into it. Yeah, you've been accustomed to it, and now you don't notice it. If you were born on a carousel, you would never know.
The argument I get now is that, you know, it's like, there you go. That's the reason.
That's it.
That's the reason for everything.
That's it. Any science involved, just drop inanimate objects and make your point, you know.
So there you go. They dropped that, and I was like, there you go. You keep to your unicorn. You know what I mean? The conversation's over. Like, you know, you beat me with a unicorn, dude.
That's it.
You know?
So, Dawn, what about yourself? How long have you been into it?
Not even a year yet.
No.
Started last year. I started off a conspiracy theorist, and I'd hit a wall with my research and didn't know what to go for next, so I messaged one of my pals, Jordan Brown, go send me some links, and he says, Dawn, the Earth's flat. I says, fuck off. The fuck are you talking? What are you smoking? And he's like, honestly, I says, right, usually, so we're the only flat planet then. No, you're not on a planet. And my nose got the better of me, so like the cat.
Long did it take you to come here?
No long.
No long?
Nah.
What about the emotional process?
Maybe, I'd say probably 3 weeks to make my mind up completely. Like,
did you go through some turmoil emotionally, psychologically? Were you?
What the fuck? Like, I believed in life on other planets.
So you were literally spinning in your own mind then, weren't you?
But your reality, kind of your awareness, kind of matches your reality, comes back to you.
Yeah, things make sense.
I remember sitting in geography learning about the globe, thinking, like, no danger, like, going on holiday and looking at the ground, all you can see is flatness, there's no bloody curves anywhere. Didn't think about the water. But somewhere along the line you learn to go on with it, I suppose, and believe it.
Just
Get
go with the
fooled
flow.
by it,
That's
aye,
it.
because you didn't question or you're
Exactly.
made it to be
It's
a
quite scary, isn't it, when you think that you've believed something and you've never questioned it. And
Never questioned anything.
it just shows you the power, you know.
I was lucky last year. I was in Africa for 3 weeks last year, and so I got up to 39,000 feet. And I got some beautiful footage, you know, because I got, I haven't put it up yet. I'll probably share that with you.
Yeah.
And we're flying over Kilimanjaro, so I've got, you know, we're at, and I've got this beautiful, just flat, you know, so I've got the camera right at the window, you could just see absolute just flatness. And I've got 8 hours of footage here and there, you know, flying across the speeds and carry on. So I've got some great footage as well. And I was going to share some stuff for you later as well. But yeah, that I was pointing out with a few people, because we were in a group of 17, and I was just saying, does anybody see the curvature here? And they were going, are you flat earth conspiracists? I said, no. I just said, but I hear a lot of people say that they can see the curvature when on the plane. I just said, I asked the group, I says, can anybody show me the curvature? And everybody was like looking at me, yeah, there's... Oh, no. So that became quite a topic on the plane, you know.
Excellent.
Nobody could find a curvature. So it's a great topic.
That's just a simple point, bring it up in a group.
Yeah.
And people can see it for
Anybody
themselves.
see the curvature? Nobody can find it.
Exactly. That's what be yourself, my man.
I'll summarise it all. I know loads of people that believed they lived on a globe that have looked at this, they understand that, and now they know otherwise. Not one of them will ever go back, ever, to believing that we're on a globe. It doesn't work that way.
That's it.
the other way.
That's it. So how long, when did you realise? Was it a while ago? Or?
A while ago, I came away from it, there wasn't a lot of proof, there was arguments, there was points, valid points, but no proof. You brought a kind of combination of the way to look at this and address it, and you do get kind of fed up with how stupid people are.
Yeah.
Straight away you take it to them, you're sick of being called stupid. Straight away they laugh at you, You've not even looked at this and you're laughing, what are you defending? So you can get a wee bit emotional about it. Just turn it around and, sorry, but you're the arsehole.
Yep.
And I can prove it.
That's it. Exactly.
That's the way to do it.
Aye. Good on you, man. Stick it to them.
I had enough
Take
of
no
this.
shit.
Believe what you want, we can. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Wake up.
Aye.
Believe your own.
That's it. So how's it going, bud? You alright?
I'm not too bad, mate, yourself.
Aye, nice one, nice one. You came all the way up from Newcastle today, yeah?
Yeah, too right, too right.
It's good, just want to meet people that are on the same path.
Yeah, first time I've actually met up with a flat with us.
Yeah.
So it's brilliant to talk to people that know what you're talking about and don't think they're completely insane.
Aye, there's a lot of clever people here today.
Oh Christ, aye, is a very, oh yeah, totally right. Too right.
Nice format as well, eh? So,
Brilliant.
so how long ago was it? When did you realise?
When I realised November
November
2014,
2014.
me and my wife were on holiday, New York. We're up at the top of the Empire State Building. Like a guide shows you around at the top of the building. Everybody's seen the Empire State Building. You've got these big metal fences all the way around, perfectly straight metal bars running all the way around. The lads at the top shouting, "I can see the curvature of the earth from here." And you're looking, and there's these perfectly straight bars that are running completely parallel with the horizon. So I'm looking up and down like this, and I'm starting to think to myself, yeah, there's something wrong here, there's something wrong here. I've been into conspiracy theories for years. I read Chariots of the Gods when I was 17-year-old, and I've been into every sort of conspiracy since
Looking
then.
at aliens and...
Oh, into the whole alien thing, the bloody Germans down at the Antarctic, the whole lot, the Vril, everything. Through the whole German thing, Admiral Byrd, the lot. I mean, Admiral Byrd, I've learned about Admiral Byrd, what, 10, 15 years ago. But there was always something that I couldn't quite put my finger on. There was something missing, something that didn't add up. And then when that lad said that, it was like, I got down to the bottom of the Empire State Building and my gut was churning, my stomach was churning. I'm thinking, God, this can't be real. I'm going insane here. And I always knew that NASA talked a load of shit. I mean, 2 years ago I was on the actual NASA website with a scientist from Goddard, the probe that went to Pluto. trying to ask him how NASA's own figures showed that it had travelled a distance of 3 billion mile, which is what they say it is to Pluto. That's in a nice straight line shot. But then NASA's telling that they're doing this big hyperbolic corkscrew, which would have taken them twice the distance to do. And then, because of the movement of the solar system through the 9 months it took, in that time Pluto moved over 40 billion miles. But NASA's figures can't account for travelling that distance. Because if they're going, you can't just send something straight over to Pluto, it's moving. You've got to send something at a greater velocity to catch something that's moving. So if you're leaving here at 25,000 mile an hour, or 36 I think up to the left, you've immediately got to get up to 500,000 just to keep up with the solar system. It'd be like, imagine getting 2 cars going down separate sides of a motorway, 2 people sat in the front, you've got to throw a tennis ball to the fellow at the front end. It just doesn't work. You've got space between every planet that they say is up there, and they say you can just get there by going to a rocket. But it's going that way at 500,000 mile an hour. So how the hell can you do that when you're only travelling that speed?
But they're going to tell you you're already travelling at that speed, and you're just adding the 25,000 mile an hour on.
That doesn't work, does it? Because the laws of motion, you've got that momentum, that you've got to have some form of energy to keep that speed up. Because if you're just a free floating object, that's exactly what you are. You're going to come to a stop if there is nothing pushing you along. In the rockets that they've got, everybody knows rockets cannot work in space. You cannot bloody put a rocket into a vacuum and expect it to start travelling. There's nothing for it to push on. Nothing at all. It's a big vacuum.
How can it be a vacuum anyway? Yeah, exactly.
They say there's another one, gravity. Gravity, that one. What's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson turns around and says, I can't explain gravity. I can't explain gravity. Yet everybody believes these arseholes who are saying, because they've got definite letters after the name, that means jack shit in the real world, because they probably can't even boil an egg after them.
That's it.
And he's telling you that he doesn't understand gravity, but everybody believes in gravity. Everybody believes in gravity.
It's just a mantra. It's a religious mantra that people are repeating.
Science and religion in it. It's religion. You've got to believe.
Exactly.
You've got to believe, because 90% of all science is bloody theory anyway, isn't it?
And 99% of the people just repeat the mantras. Gravity, don't have an answer, I'm just going to invoke the word gravity.
Gravity, they say gravity and that's it. They can explain it's gravity.
That's it.
Gravity.
Picking and choosing.
Gravity.
Exactly.
Talking a load of hogwash.
So you go over the emotional process then. Did you have a bit of an emotional process coming to the realisation?
Did I ever? My wife, bless her heart, has had to put up with me going on about this for 3 years now. 3 years. She knows that there's something fundamentally wrong with the geography of whatever it is we live on. Which is, she's getting to the point now where she knows it's, but she's keeping ground and let me get off here. And first 6 months, before I decided to post on Facebook, which was 2015, first time I posted on Facebook, that 6 months, it was hell. It was hell. I thought I was going mad. There was excitement, anger, The anger, now that you've been lied to all your life. And you've sat there and you've thought that all this is true. You've looked at all the pictures from the bloody super telescope they've got flying around there. And you just think it's been one big lie. You've been conned all your life. Everything. It's not just the flat earth, it's everything. It's the water, it's the money, it's politics, the whole bloody lot.
It's a mixed bag of emotions there. It's like
mixed bag, every emotion you imagine. Every emotion you imagine.
Things make sense, but at the same time, you're still dealing with it.
You're questioning your own. You question yourself. You're like, am I going mad? Am I going mad? Because you sit and think to yourself, because clever clogs like Newton and Einstein have come up with all these theories, and you're like, well, then when you find out that the theories, and you can use your own brain,
that's it.
You can use your own brain. There's everything that I've looked into with NASA, trajectories, flight plans, and I mean, I'm not talking about like daft pictures, I'm talking about raw NASA data from NASA themselves, all the figures. The figures don't add up.
No.
The figures just don't add up. I keep using the constellation of Orion as a thing. When you see Orion coming up over the horizon, all them stars are perfectly the parallax and everything like that, but it isn't just the parallax, it's the fact, it's the distance between them stars. The speeds that them stars have to do to stay in that formation, and every other constellation we look at, every other one is phenomenal. NASA themselves, if you add up NASA's own figures, they say that the stars at the outer edge of the spiral galaxy are going faster than the speed of light. If you use NASA figures, you question NASA about it, and NASA says they can't explain it. They can't explain it. It's their figures that's telling you that this is the way it is, but they can't explain how they've got the figures. Everybody knows faster than the speed of light. How the hell can you even say something? If Einstein's theory of relativity and all that's right, you shouldn't be able to see something that's travelling that fast. Them stars, when you look at Orion, the nearest star to us is 235 light years away. The farthest is over 1,000 light years away, yet they stay in perfect formation as they move across the night sky.
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, of course it is.
If you just use your own brain, just look, don't listen to what the scientists will tell you, just go outside, have a look at that constellation, you watch how that's moving. Your eyes are 3D. I can tell that you're 3 foot away from me. I can tell that the lass over there is 15 foot away from us. When you're looking at them stars, you're seeing them exactly how far they are away from you. And you can see that there's no distance in between them. That constellation is fixed in that plane, and it moves across the night sky. It isn't different stars, hundreds of thousands of miles apart from each other, all playing catch up, just so it looks pretty in a one-night sky. They are there for a reason, and whoever made this place put them there, and we can look at them and everything like that. There isn't a big mystery in it. Use your own common sense and just look.
Well, that's the whole point. That's the major point. Take the power back for yourself and start discerning for yourself.
Too right.
Good man.
Too right.
Good on you, bud.
Right.
So I appreciate you coming up for Newcastle today, man.
Mate. It's been great
to see you coming.
It's been great. It's been fantastic. Plenty of people here.
Excellent. I know. I'm going to see if we can get some more people and get a wee chat with them as well.
It's great.
Good man.
They deal with that. They mess with that, but they can't get to that. It's too fucking strong. I've always had a wee flame inside of me right in there, and I've kept it going against the odds half the time and all that kind of stuff. Nice to meet you.
So I finally got into a habit of being like them. So I was just getting used to being myself, and then a couple of years later I started investigating, and then it's like, so I was right inside myself all that time. But it took me a long time to assimilate into their world, and I'm glad it only took me 7 years after that to break out it, and I was like, I was right. I always knew.
I think they're banking on that. I think they're banking on that. They say you have to be this and you have to be that, and then you're all confused and all that, so it keeps you from actually working out who you are and all that and getting on with your life. So they bank on it, and then they play on that as well, because then they say, oh, you've got to dress this certain way, you've got to behave this certain way, and women have got to do this and men have got to do that, and they manipulate everything. So if a man's not doing this or a woman's not doing this, they feel a bit, wait a minute, I don't fit in and all that kind of stuff, and then you're more likely to go to the doctor saying, listen, I'm feeling a bit out of sorts. Oh, here you go, have some of that medication on, and then it keeps you just totally, or I've self-medicated all my life, you know, you do it with drugs and drink and all that. Oh, edit that bit, please, there. And the wrong guys as well.
I never felt that fan, right? And then I was suppressing myself, and I was like, I'm not the same as them. It must be me.
Aye, there's something wrong with you. There is something wrong with you, mate.
You snap into it, and you're like, wow. My intuition, I never. It was my gut feeling.
But it's great to put this out there, because everybody's feeling that, and that's part of what the awakening is, and you're right, it's coming from the heart and all that. They've been messing with our heads long enough. Let them keep thinking they're messing with our heads, and we'll all work from the heart, and we'll have. And we were talking about that earlier on about this stuff used to be underground, and now it's crashed grassroots. So let's get it. What's the next stage up? What do we call the next stage up? You know, because this is quite exciting. This is really exciting.
This is going to happen. This is on it.
Exactly.
It's exciting.
So it's Dean, that's right on it? Dylan, sorry. I keep saying Dean and Nicky. So, what do you think of the day?
It's been a good meet-up, good turnout, definitely.
A lot of open-minded people willing to chat about absolutely anything, which is always good. No one's ever shutting down a bad idea. I mean, you're going to hear them 10 a dozen, but as long as you're open to actually talk it through with someone, that's great. It seems like everyone that's turned up today is quite willing to do that.
Open-minded, a lot of good information going about as well.
Different concepts, different ideas.
Really digging into history, a couple of things about the royal family that I didn't know about.
There you go.
That says a lot for me.
Yeah. I mean, everyone here has got a completely different background, profession, way of thinking about things, and you know, everyone brings something to the table. And I mean, the more people that are involved, the better. Because I think unity is a bit lost on people now, and especially with media and everything like that. I mean, being able to meet up at a pub with people that are 20 miles away that you've never met before and strike up a conversation about anything is fantastic, isn't it?
It's good, isn't it?
It shows you the change in people as well, like, and this way on your side of things, the way people are.
Exactly. So how long have you been involved with it? How long have you?
In general, about 7-8 years.
7-8 years.
Started with me getting a swine flu jag, falling ill, losing my job, waking up to everyone because I sat in my bed researching every day, and then before I know it, I'm getting pounded by antibiotics. Well, me being an antibiotics, I'm getting pounded by folk on the internet and having to fight my own battle. And one thing leads to another. 2 years ago, I discovered that there's good chances for that.
So it's not a ball anyway.
It's definitely not a ball. Or as you say, a potato rock.
Exactly. Pressurised potato rock. How about yourself?
I'd say about a year and a half. I mean, I had this boy banging on at me for a long time, and I had other people saying some out there things, and you know, you're on the internet constantly now, and you go, well, this massive movement of people being awake, as it were, just seemed to roll over very quickly and suddenly, and you go, well, what is this about? So I think it was a really slow, painful process of working it out for yourself. I mean, the amount of disinformation on every single topic out there is phenomenal. You could spend your whole life ripping through it, but if you're a rational, logical person that can have a conversation with someone, then you know you can deduct pretty much what you need and what you want. Try not to stay linear in what you think, because tomorrow you're going to find out something completely different.
Exactly.
I mean, it's constantly evolving, but yeah, about a year and a half. And do you know what actually got me onto it was trying to disprove people. You know, these are crazy out there ideas. I've got you. You know, I know my physics, I know my biology, I know my chemistry. You know, I've been through this. I do research for a living. I can prove you wrong. And it's when I couldn't prove people wrong that I started to rethink things.
So was it you were trying to prove people wrong in regards to their flat earth claims, or did you try and prove the globe to yourself?
I tried to prove the globe.
I tried to debunk the flat earth, prove the globe.
So did you try to debunk flat earth? What flat earth? The EMAP or?
Just flat earth in general. I was on Facebook and somebody who I'd spoke to here and there, who was down south, they were a protest and stuff like that. They used to post every day again. There's flat, this, that, next thing, stupid things, the Gleason's model, all that type of stuff, the Peterson's projection of the maps. Started to look into it and realised I didn't even know what shape the bloody countries were. You know, and then before you know it, you're standing there going, right, wait a minute. I'm standing here looking at the moon going, that's a boss earth with me a ball. That's what the stupidest concept in the world, and that's what got me on it.
And did you realise then that you knew very little about the world you were actually living in?
And then I consider I spent like the last 20 years of my life looking at physics and dinosaurs. So
thinking you had a grasp. Thinking you had a grasp on reality.
Exactly, and I don't even know how old society is, and I never mind bloody Earth. So.
Exactly.
We've been lied to far too much in that respect. We're never going to find it unless we stick together like this. So it's the only way to go about it.
Exactly, man. So, and you tried to prove the globe to yourself?
Yeah, I think it had a lot to do with me actually being in the antiques business. I mean, you're dealing with people with vast amounts of knowledge coming down through books and research and things like that, and what actually turned me on to a lot of things was masonry marks. You know, you get engravings and stuff like that, different things, and me being a woman, I wasn't allowed to know that sort of thing, and by principle, of course, 21st century, I wanted to know more about this. I started researching into the Masonic stuff, how far back it went, Skull and Bones, all the thing, you know, and then you find out that all these societies are actually still in existence today. and they're very diluted, but at the very top ranges of power, you know, the same concepts still have to be perpetuated, otherwise the whole system comes to, you know, a collapse, especially in systems like that. I mean, I know people that are in the masonry and they don't know half of what goes on at the top. And of course that just diverges into so many different topics. The power structures and just everything that goes on, you start with one thing and suddenly all these doors start opening up. If you're not careful, you start going into every door, and then you've got all this information coming at you and you're trying to push it out to other people, and then they come back to you and you go, well, what about this? Well, it forces you to do serious research, because you can't open your mouth about something about like this unless you know what you're talking about. Because people will poke holes in it so fast, and you go, well, okay, now I need to go back and learn about that.
Yeah, which is probably why it's hugely important just to remain, you know, direct realist. Again, I'm going to keep bringing that up, and that's the problem with people. People think they have to replace, you know, things with another concept or another idea or another model.
You don't need to go off and research it and spend all your time on it. Like, go through your life and every now and again.
Exactly.
I've been described a humorous realist. You can do that as well. Humorous, you know, bring a bit of fun into it and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because life is short, people. You know what I mean? And you know, I'll hands up who wants to have fun. More fun.
I think we all want to have fun. That's the problem. That's why we're here.
Exactly.
You know, we don't want to deal with the shit we're having to deal with.
Exactly. But the thing is, maybe that's what I've realised this year I need to do, is all the knowledge you've accumulated, you need to start applying it. Apply it. You know, people go, oh, I had a headache and I took a tablet, but then I remembered I needed to drink more water, but I forgot to do that. You know, things like that, basic things and all that. So we need to, because we're getting bamboozled with so much stuff, we need to apply everything we know. And that's what you're talking. Then you don't actually need to answer everybody's questions, because you're just walking the talk. So the fact that you exist the way you exist will answer a lot of questions for people. You don't need to keep coming back, because I hate all this wasting argy-bargy, abba. Just, you know, and you're like, well, whatever, you know what I mean?
That's what I think happened in it as well myself. It's like, the more I've got into it, the less things I've had to say. It's a case of, look at it for what it is. This is how it is. You can't, I don't have an answer for the rest of it, but that's what that is.
Exactly.
Water doesn't give fork a ball, as you say. It's simple.
People seem to think that you have to have the answers to everything. If you have a certain mindset or you're questioning something, you need to know all the answers. You also need to know the reason why that's not already in the known sort of domain. Well, I don't have those answers.
Put it back to them. If they ask you a question, go, the fact that they've asked you a question is they're formulating something. So if they ask you a question, you go like, right, okay, good question. Go away and find out about that. Don't then put it onto you as another way of trying to bog you down and all that. We have to keep lifting ourselves up and all that, because there is a vibrational thing going on right now, and I don't care if it's flat, round, whatever the fucking shape it is. There is something happening, and for me, it's like we're starting to really pump up. I feel like you're just like, you know, the old days you're in the festival and you're jumping about and all that, and you eat out your nut and all that. But this is what I feel is actually happening naturally and all that.
See, it's becoming a silent majority. Like gradually.
I think a lot of governments around the world at the moment.
I'm never silent. You think? Fuck that, man. Silent.
We're becoming
That's
less
so boring.
silent.
Well, no, but silent and listen are the same thing. Same anagram of each other.
You'll find that quiet people are usually the ones that are the most clued up, because they're not involved in the normal, typical day-to-day conversations where you're gossiping about people or stuff like that. I mean, I can't stand a normal conversation these days. It's hard.
God, drives you mental. He said, she said. Crazy.
You know, sometimes it's like, do you really want to wake up? Because, you know, there's no going back after this. Once you start understanding how the world functions, who's in control, how long it's been going on, I mean, when you look back in history and take things as a given, well, they were people like you that were just trying to work out what was going on in the world. They were doing their own research. They were listening to other people in the same time as them. You know, there was different political structures. They had different motivations and agendas at the time. Like, you know, for example, Edison, great, he brought power to the world. You know, he actually made that accessible to everyone. But he didn't do it in the best way, you know? If he had done that in a freeway, great, but that was never going to happen. That's not allowed.
That's why they suppressed Tesla, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But I think that in our generation, actually knowing all that history and being able to see it for what it is, I think it's really quite astounding that people can't see what's going on at the moment, because hindsight's 20/20. You know, you can say, well, this is going on in the world, this is going on in the world. Well, that's going to be history one day.
Yep.
And your grandkids are going to ask you, well, why didn't you do anything about that?
Exactly.
Because you weren't like your grandparents. My grandparents were working 100-hour weeks with their head in the dirt. Not, you know, the newspaper was their information. They chatted amongst each other at the pubs and, you know, communities and stuff like that, but they didn't have access to the world's knowledge or history. And, you know, your history teacher would say, well, it's written by the winners, just remember that. No one ever took that in.
No.
You know?
That's it.
So I always say, those who forget their history, they're doomed to repeat it. You know, it's as simple as
there was a
that.
fact that somebody said to me, well, I don't know if it's a fact because I didn't actually see it with my own eyes, but World War One, supposedly more people died in World War One after World War One with the flu because world wars lower your immune system. Because it doesn't matter if whatever's going on in Syria or Afghanistan or wherever they're up to now and all that kind of stuff, it affects us all. It brings our immune system down, and it's manipulated that way, you know, to make it show. But I was gobsmacked. World War One, more people died after World War One than in World War One because of the immune system and the flu.
I mean, my nan was more concerned about getting her rations at the end of the day. You know, she was
Still the
concerned
same
about.
now. Everybody's still concerned with chasing their money, chasing their wee sweet joy.
I think that helped me a lot actually. Moving out young and having so much stress on money and paying my rent and, you know, breakdown in relationships because of it, and breakdown of friendships and your social life, your relationship with your parents and stuff like that, just because you have so much stress. And now I don't care about money.
Yeah.
You know, if I've got enough to live and get by and maybe buy something now and again, that's me doing a lot better than most of this planet is doing.
Yeah.
And I'm quite okay with that. You know, people that get stressed out about their next bill and stuff like that, where am I going to get my rent from? Well, there are systems in place to help you out with that, and to be honest, you're not going to get put in jail, you're not going to die. Try not to end up on the street, but as long as you're doing alright, then you're doing alright. Don't be stressed about it, don't worry about it. If you need to give a tenner to someone, give a tenner to him.
Yep.
What's it to you?
I know, it's as long as you've got community, you'll never be on your arse.
That's it.
Yeah, they've got us in a position where we won't even talk to each other, so you walk past homeless people
I'm a
on the
community
street.
development officer. I'm developing communities.
I cannot
My job.
count. I cannot
I made
count
the
how
job
many
as well.
times someone
Took me
my
years,
age
but-
has been on their arse. No money, can't turn their heating on. My age, you have a choice. You want to get a car, get a car. If you want to move out, move out. You don't get both. You don't have enough money for both anymore. You want to turn your heating on, you want to turn your gas to actually make yourself some food. Most people my age can't even achieve that. You know, I've got a mate that's got a kid. Dad isn't around. She's, you know, having to deal with that all herself. She can barely get by and feed her kid. You know, so it's not as if she can get out to work and shit like that,
I
is
mean, like
it?
20 grand a year and can't afford my rent nearly sometimes, you know.
But I think this generation is actually
through
banded
tribute.
together
Good
really
job,
well
you know.
because we'll help each other out. You've not got enough money to turn your cooker on this week, come down to mine.
Exactly.
You know,
That's
have a meal
what it should be
together.
about. Help each other out. So what do you think? What do you see for the future?
Brilliant, right?
You're going to say that anyway.
Well, you have got ways of looking at life, you've got perspectives and all that kind of stuff, and if people say, oh, your head's in the clouds or you're airy-fairy or full of rainbows and all that, unicorns and all that, well, look at you.
Exactly.
What's the exact, what have you, show me something better than that, you know what
That's
I mean? You know, I'm a very practical person, and I'm a realist, and I've been called a humanist realist. I am very practical, and in my work, support people with practical solutions and all that kind of stuff. Even things like drinking water, things like that. You know what I mean? Just
What would you say to somebody like me? Could be, you know, well, I'm sure you'll have heard me saying it. Until I know exactly what this place is, why we're here, what the game is, you know, these concepts and things that we talk about in regards to building a better society, better communities, what are they based on? If you don't know what this place is, why you're here, what the rules of the game are.
That to me just is too complicated, Dale. I'm kind of like that, right, okay, I understand that is, and we've been lied to and all that kind of thing. So for me, my thing is, all I can do is on a daily basis, you go out the door, you meet that person, you walk away from them, you have a bit of a conversation, you leave them in a better place, you go to the next person, do the same thing. You just keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that.
Aye.
Somebody's screaming at a kid in the
I totally agree.
Somebody's screaming at a kid in the supermarket because they're stressed. Try and smile at the kid, do you know what I mean?
We know things, we know how to make each other feel better, we know how to make each other be happy and smile. I know these things as well, you know, but people talk about, you know, the whole of society, you know, in general, and how we can make a better life and what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing. And I'm always like, no, wait a minute, because I don't even know what the rules of this place are. You know, what's the game? You know,
we make our own rules.
well, that's it. So the way it's being run just now, then you would have to say, well, it's fair game. Would you know? I mean,
I think there are always things that are going to be inherent to being human. It doesn't matter what society, what country, what time period, what system you're living in. Ethics is one of the main ones.
Yeah,
we all have a moral capacity, and it's what every religious book just about has been conceived into. It's one of the most groundbreaking concepts we've ever managed to communicate to each other is you have an ethical morality, and to follow that and create things out of that is good. If if I make someone feel bad, I feel bad. That's inherent to every single person unless you're a bit psychotic.
But well, that's the thing. You know that there is people who are that way inclined.
Yeah.
So how do they fit into that?
You boycott them.
You boycott.
Don't give them any energy. Don't give them any. Don't think about them. Don't
how do
try
we
and
deal
work
with
it.
them?
Don't try and work it in your.
You're not going to be
ignore them. They don't have any energy. Then
I'd like
if
to
you
see
ignore
people
something
get
that
into
doesn't
full lawful
exist.
rebellion.
Full lawful rebellion.
Vote with your money. Take it away from everything. Stop paying your council tax. Stop paying it.
Right ho. Lovely to meet you. Bye. By the way.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, you do.
Lovely to meet you.
Bye.
See,
I'd like to see everybody going to full lawful rebellion. I think that's the best way to go. I mean, if you take all the money away from the system, it can't ease
Well, look what Gandhi did. Gandhi just got everybody to stop working. And the whole place fell to bits. India fell to bits.
Everybody has their own.
No, but just not for. I'm not saying forever. He just done it for a bit, didn't he? You know what I mean? And then they were all panicking and all that.
Massive societal changes aren't possible like that. Changes happen authentically and very quickly, and only in the presence of something that is very fucking righteous. You have to have this very clear goal of where you're going and why, if you're going to get mass amounts of people to join onto that. And nothing ever changes overnight like that, not even if your concept is so good. There's no way you can possibly get out
It
there.
takes about 10 years to get something, because initially you're called mad, and people so you're doing it against the odds and all that kind of stuff, and you keep going, and then maybe about 10 years later people get it and they can kind of come on to go onto your bus or whatever it is, and they kind of get it. But you have to persevere, you have to keep going, keep doing what you feel is right. I think if everybody did what they felt was right, we'd be in a totally different situation. But these psychopaths, I don't understand how they
Because you're no one.
can sleep. Exactly, and that's the thing. And so, but then we have to try and understand how they half the time we don't even know how our own selves operate. You know what I mean? So you've got to work on yourself and don't be distracted by that. That's what I'm saying. Don't give it energy, because once you don't give it energy, because they're feeding off us, they need that. They need us to be talking about them. They need us to go, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? No, fucking rubber ear them and just get on with what we're doing, and then the energy dissipates and they don't get what they need, and maybe they dwindle. That's what my hope
I think
is.
people don't realise, you call it the 1% or the elite or the small amount of us. Well, people don't also realise what comes with that is there's more of us than there is of them. This system is not going to change. The whole commerce system, capitalism, all that, it doesn't matter. Take any other one, even socialist societies in other parts of the world. They all function on I'll make this for you, you give me something in return. That's never going to change. The way that you're going to change it is supporting the right kind of factions that are doing that. If you want to see a change in the world, we'll stop using the bank with the highest interest rate. Stop living in a part of town that's trying to pull the most rent out of you. Stop buying into things that are going to make you happy. It's not. Try concentrating on, do I want something I want to still eat meat, but I want to eat meat that's grass-fed instead of grain-fed and got tumours all over it, that sort of thing.
That's the whole thing. It's what you're buying into, what you're contributing to.
Make sure that what you are buying into in life is in line with how you feel about the world. That's all you need to do. If you want to see a change in one direction, try and get your mates to go in that direction with you. You should probably boycott these guys or see they're doing really terrible things over there. Why don't you go with this company that's maybe slightly smaller, knows experience, but hey, they're trying to do something better,
Exactly.
That's all you need to do, is start moving towards the things that align with what you want to see in the world. You know, the more people that you can get doing that, the faster it rolls around.
Yeah, walk your talk.
Is a good start, you know what I mean? Cutting out as many animal products as possible is a good.
I would say that's one of the best ways to go. It's one of the best boycotts.
Well, it's the biggest thing that's happening. You know,
well,
not maybe veganism, but you know, cutting out animal products.
Dylan's vegan and I'm not. I mean, I tried for a little while and I've went back on myself quite. I still think that there's a lot of health aspects that need to be worked out around that. I also believe that every person is different and one diet that works for
It's just the
person.
industry, it's the way the industry operates,
exactly.
the way things
and you
are
have
being treated.
serious ethical morality issues with what goes on with that. And if you can cut that down, one, probably healthy for you. You don't have to cut it out altogether, but you certainly don't have to berate people that believe a certain way.
I was going to say, I mean, the way I see it is if you want to eat meat, you should be hunting it. Like, you should be having an animal trapped in a room or trapped in a cage all its life.
I agree. I think.
One burger, you have to kill a cow.
Well, I think I'm the same as you. You know, for me, it's about, you know, proper education and transparency. Children should be shown the process, given the options so they'll get full knowledge of what actually goes on. And I also think we should be pushing towards that if you want to, then you hunt it yourself. You actually have hands-on through the process here, so that you're in touch with it.
Having said that, that would be a good method, but having that on a scale of the amount of people that we have
that's the problem.
is that's the main issue. I mean, you brought up Gandhi earlier. The way Gandhi was remembered for, you know, basically getting Western society to bugger off and then saying, well, let's not run it like that. We are a country of small villages, all in commerce, and some of his ideas wouldn't have worked, and they wouldn't work in today's society either. A lot of people rely on that, but they just wouldn't. We need to create different ways of thinking. Start getting outside the box. It doesn't matter what it is. Like my mum was trying to build allotments for the community. You know, she got a few people involved, got some money together. That's how you're improving people's lives.
Exactly.
That's what make as big an impact as you can.
There's people out there that are devising new concepts. There's a guy, Jack Fresco. He's got a thing called the Venus Project. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's probably worth you checking out if you've never. His concept is that, you know, city centres are basically university hubs. And we live on the outskirts. Machines are farming the lands. He's even talking about, you know, if you want to eat meat, you can grow it stem cell or whatever it is in a lab. Basically growing steaks artificially and stuff like that. So that, you know, there's people out there that have been working hard. I mean, guys like Jack Fresco, he's been at that since the 60s. So it's a concept that, you know, be worth you checking out. The Venus Project. It's still going. And it's you know, it's getting ever increasing funding and people getting involved in it. So, you know, there is opportunities and different things out there, but I'm still the same. You know, I can't go out into any of the avenues until I know exactly what this place is. For me, it's a pointless endeavour because we still, as a species, I think we need to establish exactly where we are, who we are, how we got here. Without that, the rest of it's just delusional.
I think in the meantime, there's probably some things that we can rely on. You know, ethical morality between people is one of the biggest things. If you're doing something that makes someone else feel good, it makes you feel good, keep doing it.
That's it.
You know, that's the only standard that I think we have.
But yet then again, I come back to it and I say, well, a psychopath might feel good about abusing you. So, you know, you've always got the same.
It doesn't make me feel good though, so
well,
that's
the
no.
Exactly, well, that's the problem, isn't it?
I just stand on the common law, it's as simple as this. Turn the telly off, don't hurt anybody.
I think responsibility and holding people to account for not so much what they say, fair enough, you're all entitled to say something stupid now and again, it's the actions that they take. And it doesn't mean that you have to be berated and thrown into the social outcast group and you lose your job, you lose your family for something stupid that somebody did. That's not on. You know, but
that's like
saying, you know what, sit down, you've done something wrong, held to account, it's alright, don't do it again, but you've learnt the damn lesson. And politics, none of it. Absolutely none of it. We have this whole Brexit thing, you know, to touch on one of the hottest subjects that's going on in Britain right now. That's not going to happen. Brexit is not going to happen. You can get out of the European Union, but the fact that we have consolidated our military means that even if you were out, you're not out.
Have a good day.
Aye, have a good night, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Take it easy. Cheers for coming. Take it easy.
with Brexit, us getting out, right, that's not a thing. Even if we had to separate ourselves from the European Union, the fact that our military is so consolidated into each other, along with our education systems and just about every other system, and it's continuing at the moment, that's what they're doing. Oh, you don't want to be part of a customs service, well sorry, but you're also part of this service that they're not talking about. They're so integrated that it doesn't matter whether you say you're part of the European Union or not, you are. And so many countries are all getting packed into this. More people are clawing to be part of it. It's so undemocratic. It's hysterical to say that we even have democracy anymore. Where? In what sense is any working class person accounted for at the moment? At all, across Europe. I mean, you had it in Spain. It was absolutely outrageous. People were being beaten in the streets. I didn't see the rest of the European Union stand up and say, well, that's wrong, you shouldn't be doing it.
You didn't see half in the news either. It's like fucking Hunger Games. You know, we're just cordoned off into these sectors, so we don't know what's going on with each other. So we can't help each other out.
Exactly. Listen, guys, I'm just don't want to cut you, but this battery's going to run out, just so that we'll probably just end it there.
Well, it's been a good day, isn't it?
Aye, it's been excellent.
Fantastic day, absolutely brilliant.
Decent,
I know I think everything boils down to one fundamental point in life: consent.
That's it. Exactly. That's it. It's all about consent. What you buy into, what you put your attention to.
Consent.
And you can withdraw that at any time you want.
Anytime you want. And whether you want to sign a bit of paper boils down to consent.
You don't want to stand for something, don't stand for it.
Exactly.
Everyone else is buying into it and it doesn't align with the way you feel.
Don't consent.
Stand for it.
Exactly.
That's why I say lawful rebellion.
Exactly, man.
It doesn't even mean you have to fight it. Just don't buy into it.
Just don't buy into it. Exactly. That's it.
And as you say, don't buy into it, don't buy from it.
That's it.
Don't perpetuate it, don't talk about it, don't encourage other people.
Yep, exactly. Well, it'll be a pleasure speaking to you guys, and thank you very much for coming today.
Good to meet you.
All right.
Thanks very much for being yourself, Dale.
Yes.
Yes. Wonderful meeting you. You look exactly like you are in the shed.
Aye.